Yeah. Whew. What is up, guys? Jin here of GadgetPilipinas.net, and today we're going to give you a quick preview of one of the latest products of Samsung, and this is the Samsung Galaxy J8. So for those of you who are not aware, Galaxy J8, as of this posting, is not yet available in the Philippines, but will be available pretty soon. Now, in terms of category, this phone is basically part of the mid-range, high mid-range of Samsung, but as of this posting, we don't know yet how much this will be priced. Now, in terms of core specifications, I have here my list. It has a 6-inch display with 1480 by 720 HD plus display. It has 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal storage. It also has 1.8 GHz of octa-core processor, 3650 mAh battery, 2 cameras. We have here a 16 and a 5 megapixel camera, and one front-facing camera which is a 16 megapixels. In terms of dual SIM, this one has can actually accommodate up to 2 SIMs with 1 micro SD. In terms of looks, medyo identical siya when compared with the Samsung Galaxy J6. But if you compare this with the J6, this only has 1 camera as opposed to the J8, which has 2 cameras. So, in terms of basics, doon pa lang kita mo na kung ano yung difference. Now, let me give you a quick preview of the phone. So, again, as I mentioned earlier, this one has 6-inch display, HD plus display. And at the top, makikita mo dyan, meron dyan earpiece. And then, beside it, there is also front-facing camera, which is a 16 megapixel with 1.9 aperture. Beside it, there is a flash, okay? And beside the flash, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is also a sensor, okay? Sensor or sensors. Pwedeng may light, I don't know. And then, that's pretty much it. In front, wala siyang notch. Well, as of now, wala namang notch na Samsung as far as I know. But, in terms of notch, you can't find any here. And on the side, left side, we have the volume rockers. And then beside it is, of course, the provision for the micro SD. And then just below the micro SD provision, we also have the slot for the 2 SIMs. Now, if you take a look on the right side, we have here the speakers and the sleep and wake button. Sa baba naman, meron tayong micro USB. Sino pa gumagamit ng micro USB ngayon? Well, halos kadalasan lahat ng mga mid-range. We have the Oppo F7, we have the Nova 2i, and the rumored Nova 3i, or Nova 3, I don't know. And also, there is also a 3.5mm headphone jack and 1 microphone. I cannot find another microphone for noise cancellation, but perhaps there is one, I'm not sure. Pero from what I'm seeing, there is no secondary microphone for noise cancellation purposes. Okay, so that's pretty much everything that you need to know in terms of looks of the Samsung Galaxy J8. One thing that I'd like to point out is, of course, the 3GB RAM. I don't know about you guys, pero para sa akin yung 3GB RAM medyo hindi siya sapat, no? Especially if you're gaming, that's actually one of the things that you have to take a look at before getting a smartphone that can allow you to play games like PUBG Mobile. That is one. A lot of the high mid-range devices right now, we have the Zenfone, we have, of course, the Oppo F7, the Nova 2i, and the rumored Nova 3i. I'm not sure if they're gonna come in because I've seen a lot of posters lately. Those phones already have 4 GB of RAM. That's one thing that I'm really, kind of worried about the Galaxy J8. Next thing is, of course, the processor. 1.8 GHz processor. From the looks of it, mukhang okay naman siya. And that's something that is the least of my worries, if you're gonna ask me. Another thing is, of course, the storage. This one has 32 GB of internal storage. And that's something that I am happy about. And the fact that you can put micro SD, okay siya. Pero, again, marami dyan na may 64 GB. At marami dyan na may 128 GB. And especially if for a mid-range phone na may 128 GB, you put a possibility to even increase the internal storage, then this phone might get into a bit of trouble. And let's take some photos or sample photos. Again, as I mentioned, this one has 2 cameras at the back, so perfect yan sa mga mahilig mag-take ng photos. So, sa mga mahilig mag-take ng photos, this one has, let me just review it, has two cameras at the back. One is 16 megapixel and the other one is 5 megapixel. Let us use live focus. We have subject B, subject A. We have Gundams here. Move farther away from the subject. Okay. When using live focus, hindi ganon ka bilis ang pag-focus. And let's take a normal photo using auto. Let's zoom it. Okay. Alright. Let me show you the photos that we took. So this is using live focus. Okay. I can adjust the background blur if I want to. From 0 to 7. And then let's take a look at the other photo that we took. Yeah. Using auto mode. And lastly, we zoomed in a little further. We have got ample lighting here. At the expense of saturation, medyo bumaba ng konti. Colors are not, not too original based on the photo that we took and based on what we're seeing right now. But nevertheless, it is okay by my standards. Okay. Now we can also take a selfie. There is a selfie focus if I want to. Okay. Just take a photo. I can even raise my hand. There you go. Good. And then there is even selfie mode. And then I can even change the level of beauty that I want. So kung gusto ko halimbawa mas smoother skin, mas kailangan ko yan kasi medyo butas-butas ang aking mukha. Okay? I can do that. I can even make my eyes bigger if I want to. Face as well. I can even adjust the tonality of my face, the color. Okay? Let's take a selfie. You have about 0.5 seconds to readjust yourself if you make that gesture. That's not bad. Okay. So far, so good in terms of quality. These are the photos that we just took. There you go. The level of how aggressive it is compared to Oppo F7, because we've reviewed Oppo F7, is not as much as Oppo F7s. So, but to me, siyempre, mahilig tayo mga Pilipino, kadalas mga Pilipino and even Asians, to increase in terms of beauty level, yung level of beauty that we want. So, medyo angat ng konti dun si Oppo. But if you want to stay original, okay, then this might be the phone for you. Of course, this one can also let you play games that you want. Although, when we tried playing PUBG earlier, okay, because I tried playing PUBG, it automatically set it to low, okay, which I don't think is a bad thing, but the fact that it is in low, some of you might not appreciate it, especially if you're really into immersive gaming. Okay, and oh yes, before I forget, the game, or rather the cell phone rather, you might not like the level of volume of the speakers. Medyo mahina siya by my standards. You cannot even hear it from now. Kahit ilapit ko yan sa microphone, hindi mo siya maririnig. Let this load muna. Okay. Alright. You cannot hear it, no? Pag nilapit ko sa mic, let me just sobrang hina. And that is something that I don't like about this phone. Ang hina ng kanyang speakers. Because it's too far. But let's go try and reach it. Kung hindi, baka mag-drop tayo sa may mga condo areas. Condominium. So I guess if you're going to play this game, you might as well play this better if you play this with your earphones on, the better sounding your headphones are, the better chances or the higher chances of winning. Ooh, yes. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Far. We're at the middle. So far, yung ping natin maganda. So that kind of tells us about how good this one in terms of Wi-Fi frequency. Sapat na yan para sa atin to understand that, I guess. Might be different though if we play games using LTE or 3G. That might be different. Let's go where the people are. So, oh shoot, there's one here. Hello? What? Oh, there's one there. Ha! Sir, naka-auto-aim tayo, sir. PUBG Mobile. Gumagapang ka dyan. Nagawa mo. So that's about it, guys. This has been our quick preview of the Samsung Galaxy J8. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of format on our quick previews. And I hope you learned a lot about the newest smartphone of Samsung. Again, as of this posting, we don't know yet the price of this phone, but we'll definitely let you know once we post our full review and our news about this new smartphone. Again, this has been GN of GadgetPhilippines.net. Thank you guys for watching and see you soon.